Kit Kats can read. Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys my June wrap up. So in the month of June I managed to read a total of 6 books, which for me is really good. I always aim to read like 1 book a week because I'm number 1 a slow reader, number 2 I work so much. This week especially I'm already going to be working like probably over 50 hours. It's crazy, it's mental, but it is the way it is. So it's just difficult, and especially with sickness lately at where I work, and because I'm a senior I have to cover shifts if I am on call. And for the past couple of weeks I have been on call because people have had their annual leaves. So I took a step up and I've helped people out. So without further ado, with that out of the way, I just would like to get started with the books. I'm going to give you the name of the book, a brief synopsis on the book, my star rating, as well as my thoughts about the book. The first book that I read in June was The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, the graphic novel by Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa and Robert Hack. So this is volume number 1. It is actually a bind up of several of the original volumes, so there is going to be a volume 2 I believe, but this book is the original graphic novel because the Netflix TV show is based on this, hence the Netflix cover to this book. And the artwork of this book is very interesting, it's very gory and it's very like orange toned, which is very interesting. And I really enjoyed the artwork of this book and the actual story of all the volumes, and I would love to carry on with this, so I would definitely get volume number 2. I love the Netflix TV show. They are both very different in the storylines. This is basically about a girl called Sabrina who is born as a half human and half witch, and so she has to sort of struggle with being in the human world as well as the world of like witchcraft and all witches, and it's all about like signing her name away to the demon and the devil and all that sort of malarkey. And that's the basic generic storyline of both the TV show and this book, but they are both different. In this we have characters from Riverdale coming to this, because Riverdale is also originally a graphic novel, so that was really interesting because I love Riverdale so much, and so having Sabrina and Riverdale come into it, like I was just like, oh my god, this is awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I just flew through it and I just read it in literally 1 sitting, so I of course had to give it 5 out of 5 Kit Kats. The next book that I read in the month of June was an e-arc of A Gambit by Christine Riccio, the very big booktuber who everybody absolutely loves and adores. I myself, I love Christine so much, so I basically was just reading her book as if I was just reading it from a generic author, so I tried to like give it my own go. I did do a book video review on this, so I'll link that down below where I will go more thoroughly into my thoughts. But this book is basically about this girl who just travels to a different country in order to study, and she ends up discovering this boy that she likes. However, he has a girlfriend, and then we fast forward into the future of what happens after them, because they just sort of like ended one day and didn't speak to each other, and so it goes from there. And there is an element in this book which I'm not going to give you, but I'll just tell you now, please be prepared to expect the unexpected, I guess. So with this book I actually started off really kind of like liking it. It did seem a bit like more of a self-insert from Christine into this character, which everybody is pretty much saying about this book, but I liked the character. She was just really funny. She's really beautiful and she's a happy, energetic character. And she also has problems of her own, like we all do, like nobody is perfect. And I think I really liked that sort about it. And I love the travelling to a different country and the studying and everything. There were certain aspects of this book that I didn't agree with, that I didn't like how the certain characters acted. I'm not going to go into that. I do talk about that more in my review. So I did really enjoy the book. I ended up giving it 3 out of 5 Kit Kats. For the majority of it, I was actually at a 4 out of 5 Kit Kat. I was enjoying it. But then we hit like from the middle to the end section of the book, and I just didn't agree with a lot that happened on, and I ended up just disliking it more and more, and I just found it in the end to be an okay read. This is Christine's first book, so everybody has a learning curve when it comes to things, so I'm not exactly going to be like, nope, never going to read a book from Christine ever again. I just hope that, you know, she looks into this, she looks into all of the positive and the negatives of it, and then that's how learn to improve. But it is the critique that sort of helps everybody. Like, all authors need to learn to expect that you will get positive and negative reviews. Even J.K. Rowling, not everybody loves Harry Potter. Yes, it's a massive, wide phenomenon of a book series, but not everybody likes it. And I'm sure she is prepared for that sort of thing. So I hope that this really does help Christine in her next novel, and I look forward to reading her next novel. The next book that I read in June was You by Karen Katniss. I listened to this mostly on the audiobook. I really liked the audiobook because it's just voiced by a brilliant voice actor, and he did it so well that made it so creepy, and it's just in so much detail and just the smart thinking. And if you guys don't know what this book is about, there is a Netflix TV show that is based on this book, which I totally recommend as well. It is very close to the book, which is why I wanted to read the book. I wanted to read the book purely because it's popular, but also because I really like the TV show, and I was like, let me read the original book. But it's literally near enough exact. It's so good. So this is about this guy who pretty much like stalks this girl called Guinevere. One day she just appears in this bookstore, and he immediately sets his eyes on her, and then he stalks her life, and then just ends up mingling his way into it and just wanted to be with her. And so many obstacles, so many people get in the way. So it is a thriller. There are some killings in this book as well, some murders, and yeah, it's such a good book, and it's written like I watch you do this. You walk into the room, you pick up this book. It's written like that, which makes it so much more creepy. And yeah, it's very clever, it's very chilling, and I totally enjoyed this book so much. So of course I had to give it 5 out of 5 Kit Kats. The next awesome and amazing book that I read in the month of June was the first book of the Did I Mention I Love You series by Estelle Mascamé, which is Did I Mention I Love You. This is one chunk of a hunk of a book, but my god guys, I really enjoyed this. I've owned this for such a long time, ever since it was released pretty much, because I was like, oh, this sounds like such a good romance book. So it's a contemporary, and it's about this girl called Eden, and one day she has to move in with her dad, and her dad has married this woman, so she has to live with her as well as her 3 sons, and one of the sons, called Tyler, is literally a dickhead, and he's just sort of going around like he doesn't care and everything, and just makes havoc of everything and gets involved in all the wrong things, and drugs and parties and alcohol. Eden ends up getting wound up in all of that stuff, but she can't help but be really intrigued by Tyler, and so they then spark this thing that goes on. I don't want to go into more than that, because they are stepbrother and stepsister, and it is a stepbrother romance, and that is what it is known for. And you can tell that even when you read it on the back of the book. So Tyler does have this like really sort of like clingy, obsessive girlfriend in this book as well, that he just isn't caring for, and Eden is just getting more and more frustrated with that sort of aspect. Oh my god, it's so much tension, it is so much. Just, if you just love forbidden romance, then you will love this book. Some people don't, they're just like, oh no, that should never happen. But honestly, like, it's just a weird trope that I enjoy. So I of course gave it 5 out of 5 Kit Kats. It was such an enjoyable read. I loved it so much that there's so much that went on, and I was just like, I just couldn't stop reading it. I was obsessed. Every time I had to put it down for work or anything, I couldn't wait to get back from work to read it again. That's how much I really enjoyed this book. And then I read The Beach House by Beth Reekles, which is a novella that comes after The Kissing Booth, which is a Netflix movie. I love that movie so much. The book is very different to the movie, like the general synopsis is there, but certain things like don't happen in either one of them, so be prepared for that if you want to read The Kissing Booth. But it's a novella and it contains all of the characters from the first book, and they basically go off to this beach house and they sort of have a little holiday there, and it is pretty much a slot in between book 1 and book 2 because Beth Reekles is releasing a book number 2. So I am so excited for that book. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of Beth. Like, she's an awesome person. So it's just a really sweet novella, sort of filler, where it's just sort of like, you know, where people are going to go off to colleges, what are we going to do, it's the worries and the fears that we have when in relationships before you go off to things like university and college and that sort of thing. So it touches on that, and family is very strong in it as well, and relationships and everything, and trust and friendship, and especially friendship, and like just between the two best friends. Like, it's really good. So of course I enjoyed it, and I gave it 5 out of 5 Kit Kats. The final book that I read in June was The Supervillain and Me by Danielle Dennis. I read this for the Biblio Games readathon. I thought it was perfect because the theme is superheroes and supervillains. I enjoy this book so much. So this is basically about superheroes and supervillains. They exist, and we have a main girl character, and she is called Abby, and her brother Connor is a very famous superhero. So like, he flies, he saves people from burning buildings, that sort of thing. It's not like superpowers sort of thing, it's more like just the element of being able to fly and to be like physical in fights and that sort of thing. So it's more like flying and physical sort of aspect rather than actual like powers. So just be prepared for that, because some people were kind of disappointed when they thought, oh, supervillain, superhero powers. It's just more like the things like to be able to fly, to be able to save people, to be able to, you know, do physical things. So this is pretty much about Abby, who doesn't have any powers whatsoever. She cannot fly, she doesn't have superhuman strength. She pretty much is just an everyday schoolgirl. She goes to school, and then she's doing this play, and she gets like a part for it, and then she's trying to sort of like struggle between being human and also like with her brother being the Red Comet superhero. So she goes home to her family of her dad and her brother, and it's just like normal. And then one day she ends up being sort of like mugged, and she gets saved by this guy who's called the Green Lantern, who is then being shown on TV the next day as like a supervillain. He's just being horrible, he's doing all these really bad things. So Abby's confused. She's just like, why is he doing these things when he was really nice to me and saved my life? And so like near enough every evening they meet either in her bedroom or somewhere else, and they sort of develop this really good friendship between each other. And Abby sort of soon learns to believe that maybe somebody is conning this supervillain, and she's just like, how could he have done these things? And he's trying to investigate something as well that's going on, and she soon learns to help him. So it literally is just about secrets, mystery, and supervillain, superpowers, who is the real supervillain from the real hero sort of thing. It's really good, and this needs to be read by more people because it's just so underhyped. Like, for me, it was such a really good book. Like, just the relationships between like families and really good friendships, and I love it so much, and the bond between these two, so good. I loved it so much. So I had to of course give this book 5 out of 5 Kit Kats. So if I had to have a favourite book of the month, it would be so tough, because it would honestly be just torn between these two. And I love them both so much, so this is really tough to choose actually a favourite book out of these two. Oh my goodness, I don't really want to choose. I don't really want to choose. I'm probably going to have to say Did I Mention I Love You? I was just obsessed with this book. This is probably only just by 0.01% ahead of the Supervillain and Me. But yeah, I had a really good reading month, and I read some good books, and I'm really happy. I feel really proud of myself, and yeah, it was a good month. So that's it from me, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video. Let me know down below in the comments if you've read any of these books that I've mentioned in today's video. Also, what books did you read in the month of June? What books have you guys recently purchased? And all that sort of jazz. Are there any books in the month of July that you would like to buddy read, that you just love and enjoy? Then let me know down below. But that's it from me, guys. All of my social media links will be linked down below in the description if you would like to follow me elsewhere. I upload videos all the time, so if you don't want to miss my video uploading, you can click on the bell notification icon that's down below, and it will pop up on your phone, on your laptop, when I have uploaded a video. But that's it from me, guys. Thank you very much for watching my video as always. Keep smiling, keep reading, and be happy. My name is Katie, and I'll see all of you wonderful, awesome people in my next video. Bye!